Is Meghan Markle the biggest threat to Prince Harry? Well, it might actually be someone else. Can you guess who that person is yet?
We want privacy! We want privacy!
Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to Popcorn Palace. I'm filling in for Andy today, and yeah, is Meghan Markle the biggest threat to Prince Harry? Now, a lot of people out there think, that she is, right? That she's the mastermind, the brains behind the whole operation, and furthermore, that she controls Hazza, right? That she's the puppet master, controlling his every move, his every thought, that she's behind Spare, and essentially everything else that he does, right? Well, I saw this article from Newsweek and I'm like, huh, that actually might be a good point, right? When you see the headline, Prince Harry could be the greatest threat to his own reputation, I'm thinking, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to go through this article. I'm going to give you my commentary and my thoughts. And guys, comment down below. Do you agree with this assessment or not? Because it's definitely a different perspective for this community, right? So, in the wake of Hazard dropping one of his very many high profile libel lawsuits against the media, in particular with this one, the Mail on Sunday, it's really a case now of looking at his situation and thinking, well, hang on a minute. How serious can we really now treat Hazard when it comes to his war against the media, right? What reputational damage has he suffered as a result of his own actions, his own ego, his own hubris? Now, for those that don't know, very quickly, couple of days ago, about a week ago, January the 19th, he dropped his lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday over a February 2022 story that essentially gave the idea that Hazard had sought to mislead the public over a security legal battle with the United Kingdom government. The security legal battle being essentially that he wants to have armed officers protecting him, Megxie and the family all the time, no matter what, whenever he comes to the UK. And I think you all know my thoughts on that at this point. He can go freaking do one. I'm not for that whatsoever, because if he wins that, yeah, taxpayers have got to pay for that. He's freaking cheeky, I'll tell you that right now, trying to fight that battle. But anyway, the Mail on Sunday was reporting on that, and he was not happy essentially with what they had written. The headline being exclusive: how Prince Harry tried to keep his legal fight with the government over police bodyguards a secret. Then, just minutes after the story broke, his PR machine tried to put a positive spin on the dispute. Now, last year, the judge ruled essentially in Hazard's favour that the article had a defamatory meaning. However, it was only November, December time that he lost a hearing for this particular lawsuit. Now, what was that? That was Hazard trying to turn around to the judge and saying, look, this trial's going to go ahead, but the Mail on Sunday is going to try and argue this honest opinion defence, and I don't want them to use that defence. So he was trying to get the judge to agree with him. But the judge turns around and is like, nah, Mail on Sunday can use the honest defence, the honest opinion defence. And furthermore, I think they've got a good chance of successfully arguing it and winning the thing, right? So that then led, as far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Hazard dropping the lawsuit. He knew, essentially, especially with the judge's summary back in November, December time, that if he went ahead with this, the judge is turning around and saying, look, they've got a good chance of arguing it. Yeah, you might as well quit whilst you are ahead. Now, if the libel lawsuit had gone to trial, then, the Mail on Sunday's legal team would have had to justify their decision to publish the article. Harry's team would have argued he suffered reputational damage as a result to determine damages. But something that even Jack Royston, Sussex squad simp, said would have been challenging for Hazard to prove, right? So, we've got the Jack Royston saying, quote, defamation law is not actually in reality about truth and lies, it's about reputation. You can only sue if a statement lowers you in the estimation of right-thinking members of society generally. In other words, you're supposed to have been in some way damaged by the story that's being published. That is the point of defamation law. And this is the thing, right? In the wake of that particular article from the Mail on Sunday being published, was there any reputational damage to Haz as a result of that article being published? No. If anything, I would argue any reputational damage that Hazza has suffered from, is done to himself, right? I think we can definitely agree with all of that. So Jack Royston then says, look, where this relates to Hazza is that, public opinion of him and, Megsy's been so polarised over the past 5 years that it may have been hard to argue that one article would make a significant difference. There's also a suggestion that rather than media articles, it has been Hazza's own actions and comments that have posed the greatest threat to his public reputation. So Jack Royston says, quote, Harry has been written about since the day he was born. There were stories about him while he was still in the womb, hundreds of thousands of news stories spanning 40 years. This one throwaway story in the Mail on Sunday was never going to have materially impacted his reputation. And then he goes and says how Britain views Harry is really deeply entrenched. And it took an earthquake the size of the Oprah Winfrey interview to make a dent in it. It took them quitting the royal family to make a dent in his reputation. It took Spare, his biography, to make a dent in his reputation. So one single throwaway story in the Mail was never going to make a difference to Harry's reputation in the eyes of the British public. And again, let me stress, this is Jack Royston. This is a Sussex Squad simp we're talking about here. And even he's turning around and saying, he didn't have essentially a cat in chances hell of winning this lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday. Plus, when it comes to reputational damage, he's done it to himself. He left the royal family. He did the Oprah Winfrey interview. He published Spare, amongst the zillion other things that he's done, right? Even Jack Royston, is admitting this, right? Now, the general popularity percentage points for Hazza in the UK was high, apparently until 2021, when it started when you started to see a significant decline in the wake of the Oprah Winfrey interview. And every single time Hazza and Megsy have made a move against the royal family, those popularity points just kept going down and down and down and down and down. I mean, I even reported on my own channel, Steph the Alternate, that before the Harry and Meghan mockumentary on Netflix was released, the popularity wasn't great, but, they had some popularity, right? After the Harry and Meghan mockumentary was released, started going down further. Then once Spare was released, went down even further. Again, every time they make a move, their popularity just sinks even further lower. And if you think it can get any lower, it gets lower. It's insane, right? So Royston said, everybody who has an opinion already knows what their opinion of Harry is. And so where this leaves Hazza is essentially, you know what? Even Jack Royston, again, I like saying it because it's quite, alliteration here. The Sussex Squad simp extraordinaire, right? The triple S, yeah? Is saying, look, it's all his fault that his reputation is in tatters. He's done it to himself. He's the biggest threat. And not only that, he's also the biggest threat to his own finances, because now he's facing a massive legal bill for the Mail on Sunday court case that he now has to pay. And so at this point, really, it's a question of, well, should we continue to believe that Meghan Markle is the biggest threat to Prince Harry? That, she's the one behind the scenes controlling him, making him the puppet, and she's the puppet master, this, that, and the other. Well, no. Even the Sussex Squad simp extraordinaire Jack Royston is turning around and saying no. He's done it to himself. Prince Hazza is his own greatest threat to his reputation. Now, does that mean that Megsy's out in the clear? No. She is a factor of it. she has contributed to his reputation being in tatters, absolutely. However, is she the biggest threat? I would argue not. And I've always said all along, right, that she ain't controlling him. It's all Hazard. It's all him. He's an adult. He's a father. He has his own mind. He can make his own decisions, right? She ain't controlling Shays. No way. And I think this proves it even further in my book. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, do make sure that you subscribe to Popcorn Palace, turn that notification bell to on, like this video, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. What do you think? Do you agree, disagree, a little bit in the middle? Let's have a healthy debate going. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Really appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.